Hello everyone and welcome to another draft of All Will Be One. There, and there's also an All Will Be One in the pack. It's actually quite good in certain decks, usually red green, red blue probably. Um, yeah, this pack has some good cards. That are not reliant on getting a certain archetype. Like Hexgold Halberd is the red card that can be worse in some decks, but it's definitely always going to be good, whereas this is just unplayable in certain decks. Voidwing Hybrid is really good. Of course, it does involve blue and black, and it's an early drop, so you don't really splash that. Deep Faith Duelist is fine, but I think the pick is between the Halberd and the All Will Be One here. If I have had like any kind of you know idea that I might be able to draft red green or red blue, I would take the All Will Be One, but I think I'll take the Halberd. It's gonna be great in any red deck you can draft. So I did maybe a boring pick, but I think the correct one. Right, so the Filigree Silex. 10 oil counters from among permanents you control. So you don't have to actually have these Silex at 10 oil counters. It's enough that you have a total of 10 oil counters among all your permanents, which again in red green will be not even that hard, but it's a ratchet bomb. Otherwise, I am actually more interested. Maybe first of all, I don't like the sprinter too much. Maybe in a very focused oil deck, yes, but I would rather pick the Silex than this if I'm like in a trying to have an oil deck. I think that Justiciar is quite good pick here. It also works well with the Halberd, which is an artifact. These green cards are fine. I think this is the card with most upside. The Sildred's Edict is like good, fine, but Mandible Justiciar is just a very nice 2-drop. If you can have a deck with some number of artifacts, like 8 or more. Right, so here, well, I see a bunch of decent cards here for sure. For example, the Troller Rig. You could take this from this pack if this pack didn't have, good cards that fit my early picks well. Here the question is more like, am I gonna take the Battlefist over the Duelist here because the Battlefist does better job combining with the Justiciar, but the Duelist is slightly better otherwise. Not that you care about the toxic one if you are playing a red-white, but attacking as a first striker is really nice. Yeah, it is the better card. I think if I had more than one Justiciar, I might take the Battlefist, but I'll just take the card that I think is better here. And how about this pack? Okay, Whale of Assimilation now. Slight regrets of not picking the Battlefist. Not really actually, because of course I still think this was the correct pick. I had obviously no idea of knowing that I would get this kind of an artifact payoff. Is this pack gonna have something else for me? Like there's a Hazardous Blast. I don't like too much about the Vanish into Eternity. Not really a pick for in my opinion. I would take the Blast over the Vanish here for sure. Whale of Assimilation does work with out of these 3 cards. I might still be maybe white blue. It's possible, although I don't see a lot of blue here. This in white blue is the best. I think I'll try this actually and don't pick the Hazardous Blast quite yet here. Alright, so there's a Malkatos Watcher and there's also a Transplant Theorist. I like the Watcher more for sure. So I have only one red card and this pack has the Kuldotha Cackler. Not really a card that's gonna work well in white red because white doesn't really have oil things. I think there's one rare that can accumulate oil counters. It could be something else, but definitely not like an actual theme among white cards in this set. White commons and uncommons at least. Alright, Watcher is the pick. And let's see if the blue-white artifact deck can be a thing, although it does seem like the draft kind of transformed into blue-black being suddenly open. There's some green too, but yeah. Because the Hive Master and the Scrap Trap, they're totally fine cards. And here we have some, well, I guess the blue cards aren't the greatest, but they have roles in certain decks. None of these stuff work with the artifact theme I was trying to build here. I could still take the free from flesh, which, you know, can maybe make me still play like a maybe white red after all. It's a fine trick even if you don't care about the oil here. But I think I'll still take the Hive Master, because if black is actually gonna turn out being open, then I should take the best card, well, kind of, from there. And this is total mess of a pack. I don't even like the Blister Zoa that much. There's a Vanish into Eternity, which is playable. There's a Prophetic Prism. Yeah, I have no idea about my colors. I can totally be not even in white here. So, yeah, but this pack is just bad. I think I'll take the Vanish in case I'm white. This is at least playable. And here we have a Mirambadish, Rebuke, the Fisher. Alright, it's going to be one of them. Maybe. Can I try to keep the dream alive about the artifact deck? I think the Fisher is slightly better if you don't care about the artifacts. But let's try to make it still happen. And okay, all the black things are here. I don't know about what happened in this pack. One green isn't open, but suddenly black kinda is. Well, I don't really think I can be toxic. I suppose I kinda could. There's a Duelist of Deep Fate and the Hive Master here. Can I be black-white toxic? You know what? If I can, I'll take this. I guess it's the card with most upside. And then we don't get anything from black, nothing from white. Green is the only color I haven't picked at all. And the best card out of this is the random 2-drop here. I guess I could take the Prism, I could take the Sprinter, but now I'm not gonna have a big oil theme in the deck. I'll just take the Prism. Maybe I wanna splash something, not something that happens often, but you know, that pack was really a dud. Alright, let's take the Siphoner number 2, and here Skull Bomb. Yeah, I don't like the Strider or the Gladiator that much. Vat of Rebirth. Maybe it can be a sideboard card. The Mirror Custodian would work with the artifact team, but I think I have to kind of abandon it. Last pick, Scrap Trap, makes me think that definitely the move to black was correct one. And here I can just take the Skrell's Hive, I think. The Scrap Gotcher is really good too, but again, I have all the other colors at least. one pick out of them, but nothing from green. So yeah, let's take the Skrell's Hive, though this is of course something that isn't an automatic win, but can really make you. I mean, more often than not, it's gonna be very good. So I'll take it now. So I guess it's black-white toxic after all. Drowning Ichor. Yeah, that's a very good pick here. Ravager is another great card in the pack. I wouldn't mind having the Duelist here. I might get this Hive Master or the Head Clipper back from this pack. There's also the Glare. A lot of decent black here, but of course the Drown is the best one. I should cut the blue and red right now. Tywar. Okay, there's a Crawling Chorus. That is gonna have to be the pick. It's a really easy pick. I mean, it is of course a very good card when you want to poison the opponent or corrupt, whichever you prefer. I mean, whichever you are trying to do. And this deck, you know, kind of doesn't. I don't think it has like corrupted payoffs, but it definitely can poison the opponent. So now, Dune Mover, Vraska's Fall, and the Prosthetic Injector, all are, you know, picks you could consider making here. Yeah, what's it gonna be? How many creatures? That is 7 out of 15 cards, and there's some of those creatures I might not even want to play. Maybe I just should take the Toxic 2-drop, even though I might not need the fixing that much. Now the Injector can be nice, but it's more important to secure toxic creatures. Yeah, let's take the mover. How many edicts? I think this is the 3rd edict I've seen in this draft. Well, it's not that amazing, so it's not really surprising that it's being passed. But I have definitely a lot of good options here. So I can say, based on this pack at least, that the moving to black-white was the correct choice, because I mean I could take the Edict, the Sephard, the Charge, the Trick, and either of these black cards. So 6 actual picks for me. I think I might want to have the removal slash more creatures card, but you could take a lot of that stuff. Do I want to have another Dune Mover? I really don't want to play too many of those one toughness creatures. I already have a couple of Siphoners. I think I might have even enough 2-drops. I might not play the Justiciar, by the way, but I mean the other option is the Fair Basilica. The best card in the pack is probably the Furnace Punisher. Also, these red cards are good. I mean, suddenly, this is even this. So this pack has 4 very nice red cards. I don't know what's going on. But let's maybe take the Doom Mover still. I don't really need the land that much. Okay, well this pack now has something very decent for me in the Indoctrination Attendant, while also giving me 3 other pickable cards: the Offer Immortality, the Vraska's Fall, and the Necrogen Communion. All would be cards I'm willing to put to my deck, but this is the best out of the bunch, so let's take it. And this is never gonna be a deck that is gonna play the Lightbringer. Droskal Bomb, that's possible. Maybe not main deck, but could be a sideboard card in slower matchups. I don't have a lot of black, actually, only 6, and one of them is the card that is quite likely going to be a sideboard at first, at the Vat of Rebirth. I'm not gonna play anything. I don't need the Atlas, even though I might make the opponents just start to lose 1 life, but I'm not gonna play a 3 mana rock, so I'll just take the uncommon here. And I got the Head Cleaver back. I'm actually happy. I'd rather take this than the other option. I think it was the Hive Master, the other one there, but I'm happy to have the 4-drop. Nice evasive poison dealer. And here's nothing, but I'll take the same story continues. This deck is not gonna play the Atlas, so I'll take the uncommon. And I guess I got the Custodian there, which also I'm not going to play. Wow, 13th pick, Annihilating Glare, which I'm definitely playing. I even have some Sacrifice Fodder in the deck, the Hive tokens and of course the Crawling Chorus, both the front side and then the token part, and then there's still the Hive Master that makes a very easy thing to sacrifice. Alright, so this pack. Whoa. Well, I'm very happy to see the pack. Kemba is well, it still makes 2/2 cats very expensive. I mean, it's not the pick here, but it would be the best pick in some certain situations. But I have no equipment, so that I can't really benefit from that part of the ability too much. I think the pick is between the Evangelist and the Anoint with the Affliction. I wouldn't mind having the Blight Belly Rat, but I think there's a chance this comes back to me, and then there's the Flesh Cutter, which also would be a card I'm gonna be happy to play. Oh boy. I still have a nice amount of options. The Paladin, just a 2-for-1 toxic theme card, the Evasive Toxic 2 card, and the Attendant. I'm not even sure which one of these I would be interested in having. There's also the Shepherd, which is totally a playable card. I'm not playing the Body, so I'm pretty sure about that. So 1/5 drop. I'm playing both of these 4s here. There's some other cards I'm not gonna play, like the Prism. 10 seconds. I don't know. I guess I'll take the Paladin. It's a 2-for-1. It might not be the best option. I don't know. It's very hard to say, but I mean, I can't really. I mean, this is never gonna be a bad card, so let's take that. Whisper of the Dross, another Glare of that Emergence. I'm not taking the Emergence. I have a couple of 5-drops already here. Nice tricky and proliferate combination. The Glare number 2. I think I have some removal here. Maybe I'll just take the the thing that also can advance my poisoning plan. I guess having 1 Whisper and 1 Glare is better than having 2 Glares. Oh, the Hex Gold Hoverwings is really good. But the thing is, I actually just want to have the Rat here. Yeah, this is good. It doesn't have poison dealing capabilities by itself, but of course you can enhance your toxic creatures, mostly keep them flying and +1 power if it matters. But I think I just want to hit my 2-drops, and I want to cut everything that doesn't deal poison, like the Mandible Justiciar. So I'm actually taking the Rat here, even though that might seem a bit crazy. Now I'm definitely taking the Evangelist. Now I maybe should have considered when I took the Paladin, when I had 4-drop options there as well, that I might get the 1 Evangelist pack back from earlier. Now this is not that one, this is only pick 5, but you know, I'm still taking, of course, the Evangelist from this pack, but that maybe was a reason to maybe take a 4-drop over the Embracer Paladin in that pack. Well, I'm getting a 4-drop now. Also, someone is gonna get a pick 7 or later Vault Charge. Pretty funny stuff. And there is a Ravenous Necro Titan. I'm not gonna have. I mean, it's gonna. I have both Sacrifice Fodder and able to corrupt the opponent. But I have also. Okay, I don't actually know. The Glare is fine too. Let's take the 6/6. Let's take the 6/6. It's more fun. Maybe here I can take the 2-drop if I need to, like sideboard into extra 2-drops. I don't think I'm gonna play the. Okay, so I got both the Evangelists. Okay, well, I'm taking it. I think I might not play something like the Scrap Trap. Basilica Sapphire. I don't really need any more 5s. I'm gonna take another copy of the Vanish because it is a cheap removal spell on non-creatures, and some matchups might involve me being interested in this effect. Here it doesn't really matter, of course. And well, I did end up with a lot of playables. Now there are some easy cuts like this Skull Bomb side, which I don't really need. But I'm happy about my choice to just get to black and white, because that obviously was the open archetype in here. Okay, I think I can cut both of the vanishes. Now I don't have a lot of 3s, but I have a lot of 2s at least. Fleshless Gladiator can go away. Whale of course goes away, it should have gone already. Mandible, Justice there unnecessary. Skull Bomb, both of them, I don't need them. Vat of Rebirth, sideboard card. Well, does this mean I'm actually going to put something? I guess I can play one Vanish into memory. So this is now 4 5-drops, and also 4 4-drops. But I have a couple of Dune Movers here, so that's something. I mean, they can get me lands even if I don't care about fixing part. They can guarantee you a land drop. Because I'm not sure I want to play 18 lands in here. That seems a bit excessive, maybe especially with two Dune Movers. So I'm gonna add a spell in this deck. How does the creature? First of all, the creature count is 16. What happens? So get for 2 for that's 6 2-drops, 1 1-drop. And all my creatures except. Well, I mean, this doesn't deal poison, but with the proliferating, it effectively does some poison. And these, of course, don't deal poison, but they are very much playable only in decks that way, in which you deal poison. And then the other cards all have toxic something value, except for the Necrotites. And I mean, this maybe could even be cut, but I know I'm not gonna cut it. Mostly because I also have some fodder. If I just have a Skrell's Hive or the Crawling Chorus, I can just pretty freely sack one of the low impact creatures. Also there's the Attendant, which gives me the sacrifice fodder for it. Now, okay, I think I might wanna play, because it's very important to get to hit your 4th land drop, like in every game, because I have 4 5-drops. So basically 8 cards that require at least 4 mana. Even with the Dune Movers, it's possible to get stuck at 3, so I'm actually considering. I mean, Vanish into Eternity is one consideration, and one thing that I actually could play is the Mere Custodian. It doesn't do anything with the poison strategy, but it is a 3-drop, so I can smoothly curve out with this being in my opening hand. Also, the Scry 2 can help actually to dig me out of the. I mean, if I really need to hit the land drops for these kings, that will help. So that's something I could consider running, and I could also consider running a cantripping Skull Bomb. The cantrips also help you hit your land drops, and I think the white one is better in the main deck against an unknown opponent. The +2/+2 and flying can matter if I want to corrupt the opponent. And I guess there's like an extra 2-drop I could run. I would take the Gladiator over the Justiciar, because I can actually corrupt the opponent and have the ability up. So these are kind of the things I'm thinking about. The Vat of Rebirth is very slow. I'm not gonna consider it for main deck purposes. So the decision will be made so that one of these is gonna be. I think I'm gonna cut the Vanish right away because it is a 6 mana card when you don't care about removing anything else than creatures, and that's in limited quite often going to be the case. And with so many expensive cards already in the deck, I don't wanna play a card that I know will require 6 mana. So Skullbomb. Now actually I did say that I'm not going to play Phyrexian Atlas in this deck, but actually it could maybe be considered now because it would be a nice, I know, 3 mana card in my 3 slot, ensuring me more mana for my expensive stuff, and also being one way to, it allows you to win via reducing the opponent's life total to 0, because when you have corrupted the opponent, it can of course make them lose 1 life per turn. Alright. Well, I don't have that, so I don't even have to worry about or consider putting it in my deck. Gladiator, Custodian. I actually do like the Skullbomb because I have 2 Evangelists and the Necrotitan, which really, pay off nicely when the opponent is corrupted. So I'm gonna play the Basilica Skullbomb. I can also cycle it for free. Not for free, but for cheap, to hit some land drops for the expensive stuff, because I think one way this deck is gonna lose is to have 2 or 3 of these expensive cards in hand and being stuck at 2 or 3 lands. Alright, so this is it. A lot more black than white cards, but most of the white is early drops, so I don't think it's gonna be a 10-7, especially with the Dune Movers. I have like the double caster black here, but the Dune Movers can ensure me swamps, so if I play 9 swamps and 8 plains, that gives me enough plains to hit my early drop white cards, and I'm effectively at 11 black sources still, thanks to the Dune Movers here, so this is the deck. Alright. It's not the greatest, but I'm on the play having the Skrell's Hive early. I do need something else to actually power these guys through. If the opponent has a blocker, I can't even attack with these 1/1s, but it's definitely a hand I'm still gonna keep here. I got the 4-drop here too. Not the worst, because of course this... I mean, no, this was actually a good one too, because I can obviously attack a 1/1 without really being worried about it. Okay, there is a thing that's not able to block these very profitably, so that's nice. Okay, I didn't get a play for turn. I really hope to get a any kind of a playable for turn for this turn, but oh well. Okay, Kangaroo Bloom can actually deal with the Skrell's Hive. Well, you know what? Skrell's Hive is trading with the card still. That's totally fine for me. And I got the 1/1 for free, so now I can just instead of the Attendant, I can just play the Necrotitan here. That does mean I'm going to... Well, I mean, it is very unlikely to, because now I have this corrupted payoff, but it's very unlikely this is gonna continue being able to attack for damage, so I'll just do the 6/6 and let the opponent worry about this 6/6 for now. Red-green isn't actually very good at dealing with the big creatures. There's no destroy effects, so they have to do some work to get rid of a 6/6. Okay, spawning. Okay, that's a good one. Well, I'm just of course attacking here for 6 damage. I'm much more interested in this game with the big thing. I'm interested in just winning with damage, but still getting them to 3 poison will be quite useful because of the corrupted payoff here. And I have a proliferate and proliferate here, so opponent is basically already at 3 poison. I mean, given a few turns. That might not even be necessary. Because if they don't play... I guess they'd have a trick of some kind. Now, am I willing to trade my Attendant with the 3/3? Now, I could also attack with the 1/1 in here. I guess the 1/1 isn't really going to matter that much here, because if they can put the 3/3 on front of it and deal with these guys somehow else, in some other way, it doesn't even matter. I'm gonna play the Scrap Trap this turn for no matter what, so let's see if I can actually deal one poison with my, might token here. I have no tricks of my own, so they have the full ability now to do the whatever stuff they have. Wow, that's still a... I mean, is that the best thing they have here? Oh, that was great for me. So first of all, they are already at, 3 poison, so this is gonna kill stuff, but of course I'm not going to kill the Dune Mover. Now, is there something... I can't return anything but creatures that have mana value 3 or less, so I can't use the Paladin, but who cares? So anything big they play will be dying. They just concede, so what does that even mean? They still had 4 cards in hand. These were 2 big creatures for them, I suppose. Anyway, of course my hand was amazing with 2 removal spells, and the board state here I was winning through most of the stuff. Maybe some ridiculous bomb rare could have turned the game. Now red-green, what does that mean? Well, the vanish into eternity, I obviously didn't see anything that deals with it. I mean, that anything that I can target by paying only 3 mana for this thing, so I'm not playing it. I still like the Skull Bomb. Red-green isn't gonna be very easily blocking any flyers, so I might get the extra poison there. Yeah, this is pretty much just the same deck, right? Don't have any reason to consider that some of my cards would be like bad. They are good. Okay, so this can cycle to dig me into a white source. I have a couple of Dune Movers. I have 9. I basically have 10 cards that allows me to get the white mana. And I have still the Blightbelly Rat, so I'm gonna keep this. I'm going to keep it. Especially because the Hive is so good with the Necro Titan. Okay, I get a land, but it's not the one I wanted. But I'm still happy to have the 3rd land right away, because this hand also was a 2-lander, not only a hand with only 1 sort of mana available. A 3rd land, even if it's just a swamp, was a good draw given my hand and what my deck has a lot of expensive cards. Okay, they have a very good start. They also chose to attack for 1 instead of giving this thing an oil counter, which is something I'm a little bit curious about. Alright, so... okay, the Necro Titan can... I mean, I kind of want this to trade with the Kangaroo Plume once they have already a poison counter. And I have no play for the next turn yet. So I think next turn will be Rat, sack this thing. And then when this dies, they can proliferate the toxic counter here, the poison counter here. So even if they choose to attack with both, I go to 15, I'm willing to accept that. And then they get the 1 poison, hopefully. Okay, they now put an oil counter there. So hopefully this goes through, so my proliferating starts doing things, and no, that's exactly not going to happen. I can't even make this into a 3/3. Now, if I had a plains, I might just do that. Oh, that's a shame. That is such a shame. But let's draw a card here and hope to get a plains. That's not a plains, that's not a land of any kind. So now after 4 draws I have drawn only 1 swamp in this hand, not even the Dune Movers. So now I just have to... I have to just, forget about the plan to deal poison with the... I mean, to get any value out of this proliferate, I'm just gonna block the Kangaroo Plume with the Rat here for sure. I have means to deal poison here at some point, so that the Evangelist, can deal some serious work. Alright, so let's trade with the... I guess, this means I can attack for 1 poison. They can untap something though. They can play a land. Oh no, I think they played a land this turn. Yeah, because they missed their land drop once, so they can have 1 mana. I think the poison is still alright. I'm gonna take the damage. I said I'm going to, but because they block. I mean, why did they attack with the long legs? I'm somewhat. I guess they can have a 1 mana trick to block here. Of course, I didn't still draw any land, and I didn't draw a cheap black card either. So this is just horrible now. But I mean, now they're gonna get 1 poison. No, they have actually 1 mana trick to trade with the. Well, that was then not very great for me. Yeah, they have the -1/-1. I think I'm gonna concede because I have no play here, so this is just game over with the. I mean, I'm gonna pass a turn and they're gonna attack for 4 or maybe 5 damage, and I can play only. Well, I guess I go to 7. If I can play the head cleaver, it in theory can hold all these things off. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I could have continued, but let's be honest. I just was annoyed about not drawing any more than the 1 swamp in that game, and not getting to get my plans working. There was a chance that if they completely drawn just blanks, which is not very likely. I mean, they had still 2 cards in their hand, draw 1 card per turn. Even if I can put the head cleaver down, which will keep these things at bay, it's very likely they can have something to still keep pushing through. And it's also possible I don't even draw the 4th land. Anyway, let's just do the same thing and hope to hit my lands. And it actually happened, like I said, in the deck building, that my ways to lose with this deck easily is to be stuck at 3 lands or less or fewer. And that exactly happened there. But now this one is a great one. Assuming I don't flood out here, because that is, of course, possible now that if I flood out here. Okay, that's not a flooding out thing, so this is great now. There's no... it's very unlikely that I would be getting a land with this thing, but who knows, maybe I draw like my 3/5 drops back to back, and then I'm very interested in having the land. Okay, not many more. So they get the Kangaroo Bloom all the time, but it's possible they have more than 1. I don't need double white for anything, so let's just decline this thing. I have a blocker for the Kangaroo Bloom if that's somehow mattering. Oh man, that's annoying. And now I'm starting to flood out also. Wow, this is... They just play a 3 mana 4/4 trample there. Okay. I can't even return a swamp here because I have no place available here. If I draw a 5-drop, I'm just happy enough to get something with impact. But that means the Contaminator... Oh, come on. Okay. And I get... I mean, like I said, flooding out is the way to lose this game. And of course I can't... I know there's no way I can beat this kind of stuff there. It's just a complete joke of a game. And after, in the game 2, flooding... being stuck at 3 lands. Now I have a combination of flood and the opponent having these rares here. I need my removal, which I do have in the deck, so... and I can take a couple of hits, but of course this threatens to be an 8/8. It also... both this and the Kangaroo Bloom can kill the Dune Mover, so if I want to participate in some kind of a double block with the Dune Mover, that's not gonna work that well. Now this can be an 8/8, so if I do double block there, I guess I can make them use, a counter there. It's gonna be a 6/6. I mean, this thing doesn't have poison or anything, so I suppose I can take the 4 here now. Because if I do block with the Chorus and the Attendant, they just use 2 oil counters and 2 mana to make it a 6/6. Now if I also put the Duelist of Deep Fate there. Yeah, the problem is they actually care about the Contaminator quite a bit too, and this thing sadly actually proliferates more oil counters than the Miklos. So if I put everything there, yeah, that is then going to be 8 damage, and this will die, but at what cost? because they don't actually have mana to both activate this and this twice after that. So they could kill the Dune Mover there. Alright. What's the best play? I mean, I'm gonna lose the Attendant regardless. I guess I could block with the Duelist of Deep Faith and the Dune Mover and force them to use. No, I'm gonna take the damage here. 4 damage, no big deal. I don't mind if they pump it now. I can take more damage. They might have more proliferating from their green stuff too. Totally possible. But I need to draw a removal spell now. I've drawn 4 spells and 7 lands. In the previous game, 3 lands and how many spells? Over 10. Okay, well that is actually going to work. So, in response to them activating this, I can kill it because I have 5 creatures. Now they can of course have an instant speed interaction of their own, like a simple pump spell. But the idea is that when they attack with the Miklos, well, first of all, they don't give it Vigilance anymore and Menace. But they can still attack with it. And I'm gonna block, because they're gonna currently make it into a 6/6. So I'm going to block it so that it's gonna die. So this will deal 6 damage to it. And then I hope they really don't have anything else. I mean, like a pump spell, so I can now respond with the Charge of the Mites. Because they could, still kill, both the Duelist of Deep Faith and the Attendant would die here now. If they, if they line the blockers in such a way. But I need to still draw like a multiple good things here. No, I could also kill the Contaminator here, actually, now that you think of it, but it's just so much better to kill the Miklos here. I'd hope they don't have anything. They have a priority because of the Kangaroo Bloom. I hope they don't have anything in their hand. They also have the Hunter Mace, so the fact that they have a priority here doesn't necessarily mean that they can respond to this thing. But yeah, if I let this resolve and let the trade happen, I lose 2 of my best creatures here. It's much better to have my full board here against the bloated Contaminator. So now actually I can, by drawing mostly good spells, and that I think counts as one, I can actually still have a game plan here. The opponent is at 4 cards in their hand, so I'm a little bit scared what they might be. And of course I don't have attacks into their 4/4. I need my removal for that, but I suppose I can attack with the Head Cleaver so that it just trades with the Kangaroo Bloom. Now if I would get my Skrell's Hive here at this stage, I think I could just overwhelm them with creatures that can deal toxic damage. And I would be very quickly getting a lifelink for my creatures too. Because of course I lose 1 life per turn when that thing is on the battlefield. But I have to, of course, deal with the Kangaroo Bloom. Alright, they had a rebuke, that's fine. So I just need to keep drawing spells. Oh, they're gonna get another. Oh, they had a swamp. I forgot they have a third color here. Fine, they got that. Oh, hell, look at that. How lucky. That's amazing. This is actually... That's really good. But like I said, I need to draw my removal now, which I did. So I can attack with everything. They can block the Chorus or this thing, it doesn't matter. I'm of course doing maximum poison here now. Any other blocks here is not good. I mean, they could trade with the Dune Mover, but that is a lot of poison they got to do. And now they definitely are corrupted. 3 of my guys will be lethal, so they need removal / blockers. A few more of them. Now they got their black mana, which does mean that oh, well. Okay. I don't know why didn't they even play anything. I guess they had a black spell, but it wasn't good enough in this situation. So let's say I attack with these. I would have assumed they can have at least one instant that kills my thing. So let's say I lose the Attendant and the Duelist of Deep Faith, and they can still maybe like kill or block the Dune Mover. They still take 2 poison, and then I could play the Scrap Trap for the win. But they didn't even try to do anything. So now that went in a really weird way, because first of all I was totally blanked there, but I guess my blockers just were enough, and I drew the stuff I needed. I basically drew back to back good cards, which I said I need to do after flooding out in the start. Charge of the Mites, with them not having anything to respond to my playing of that card when they had the Miklos up, and then they never were able to do anything. I mean, the Contaminator did a great job of holding my team back. They would have taken some more poison damage earlier in the game without this thing, but regardless, I got rid of it with the Drowning Ichor, and then I just, well, I don't know. That was a weird game, that's for sure, because after they played the 2 rares, I would have bet like I would have said that I have like a 15% chance to still win the game, but that 15% realized. And I don't think I drew any lands after the 7th one or so. Alright, this is of course a nice hand. Evasive Poison, a Dealer, and a Deep Faith, which I think I can play. I mean, this is gonna be worse than the Siphoner if they have a a 2-drop that has 3 toughness. But also in this deck it's possible to win with damage, and I'd rather deal a poison and 2 damage than a poison and 1 damage. I just hope they don't have a 1-3 there. Besides, if they have the green 1-3, it's gonna be able to block the Siphoner anyway, so this was good now. And next turn I guess I could have played the Dune Mover now to make sure I have the 4th land drop, but I wanted to play the evasive poison dealer here, of course. So green-white toxic is most likely the archetype I'm facing here. Let's see if the Duelist can hit. It still can. Okay, this is all fine. It's a race to, I believe, 10 poison. So the rat would be nice because it dies on proliferating, but I of course do need the land, so let's do that. So next turn I know what I'm gonna draw. It's a swamp, so I can play the Attendant. Maybe returning something to get the 1-1. I know I could just play the rat still, but this is such a good blocker on this stuff. Well, we'll see what they play, of course. They might have a removal. It does seem like they have an Infectious Bite. I go to 2, and then I go to 5 poison here now, because this is toxic too. Disrupting on that. Alright. Well, I of course can now return the Duelist here, but question is, do I want to leave the Siphoner to block just in case they deal with the Attendant, and then yeah, I think I have to leave this to block for now, because they might still have something like another Planetary Disruption on the Attendant, so I wanna block the Stalker with the 1-1. Looking at my hand, I should be able to, as long as I do stabilize, I shouldn't have too much trouble here. Okay, now this is gonna be a little bit of a problem. Oh, Skrell's Hive doesn't actually help, against the poison. It gives my guys lifelink, of course. And sadly, I didn't get the 5th land for the Evangelist to. I mean, I could even just kill the Hoverwings, which would be the target currently. So if I do attack with the Attendant, what happens? They can double block with the Duelist of Deep Faith and Rebel token, and I only get to eat one of them, which would be of course the Duelist. But there's like... I mean, that would mean that they can't, you know, because this weapons gives +1 plus, well, equipped creatures get +1/+0. So if this gets flying, I can still trade with the Siphoner. If they have this thing alive, they might move around this. This would be a 3/2 flyer with first strike on their turn, of course. And then I couldn't trade with the Siphoner, so I think I'm actually willing to do this. I'm willing to trade with the Duelist of Deep Faith if they choose to do that. If they make any kind of double block with the other guys so that I can kill them both, that would be great for me, of course. But I think these... oh, they just took it all. Alright, well, I'm gonna play these guys. I didn't need the life from the hive, of course. My guys have lifelink now because they all have toxic something. But I'm gonna die to poison quicker than to damage, so I'd rather play the creatures that have... they can, you know, threaten to actually raise the opponent. But of course, one land and I get to do the Evangelist. That's gonna be great. They just cracked the land, having so many cards in hand. I guess they still have like a 3 or 2 mana spell. Okay, well that's... I mean, what does that even mean? Multiple pump spells. I mean, I'm gonna take the 2. I don't care about the damage here. So I suppose I'm just going to do this. This dies and proliferates. I take 5 damage and maybe they can save the Stalker. I don't care. Sure. I have no idea because I can deal a lot of damage on them. And they go to 5 now thanks to proliferating. Okay. That was just a trade on those. Now they have no blockers for now. I guess they have like a game plan of winning on the next turn, but they have only 1 poison creature left and I am at 6, not like 8 or something like that. It's very hard for them to, you know, make me die to poison on their next turn. And I will be getting some life. Unless I mean, if I draw a 5-drop, sorry, the 5th land, so I can play a 5-drop, I think I won't play the... okay, they just charge in there. What? Alright. Well, I didn't get the land, so do I wanna have my creatures have lifelink? I would gain 5 life here. But the Necro Titan is... now, am I gonna lose to some damage here? And it's also not very mana efficient, but... how to do it? How to do it? No, I don't have to attack with the Ascendant, but I kind of want to. I'm not worried about this poison anymore. I'm at 6, I go to 7. Even if they proliferate somehow, I'm not gonna go to 10. But the Necro Titan is very good offensively. But they do have the flyer here, that's kind of a problem. And if I don't attack with this, yeah, then I don't gain the life from it, of course. So, go to 13. Okay, I'll go to 13 and not worry about... and I'm not worried about any, you know, damage that they are able to deal. I only have to worry about poison. Another duelist, sure. That's not going to help them. I'm getting a toxic creature every turn now. They are gonna attack. I guess they kinda have to keep it up because of the hive would win otherwise. Okay, so I'm gonna trade with the duelist of Deep Faith here. I can attack with everything to make them go to 9 poison, but they would eat the Siphoner, they would... yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I'll just gain 3 here and play the Necro Titan or the Dune Mover. I guess the Dune Mover could also be a thing now because it will guarantee me the 5th land. Well, that's interesting. Also, this thing is poison dealer. But I do want to block, you know, I don't want to go... yeah, I think I have to block both of those poisonous guys. And I don't want to double jump, they have first strike, so I'm gonna do this now. because of course I can easily, take 2 poison and then they proliferate for the win. I won't be taking any poison if I can help it. And next turn, of course, given that they are rat, they didn't make any blocks, so they're gonna lose to my next attack. Okay, they try to find some help from there, and no help was found. So green, white, a lot of cheap stuff, of course, as it should. Some decent removal. There's the planar disruption, and there's the hoverwings, which kind of make me want to play the vanish into memory. I'm gonna play that, and I'm going to cut the Basilica Skull Bomb. I think it's an easy choice. Pump spells would help against the bite and the charge, but I sadly don't have any pump spells here. So I think this is the deck. Okay, well the Dune Mover is gonna do the thing. Guarantees me planes. Oh, they have a nice 1-drop there. Yeah, that's gonna be quite difficult now. That's a good 2-drop, but maybe... no, I definitely play the rat, so I can't block the might. I guess I could block it with the Siphoner too, but let's play the rat now. Okay. Yeah, Scrap Goater is... Okay, what are they doing? I mean, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. If they... I mean, there's nothing in the graveyard so that they can give it an oil counter, and also... You know... You know, they could just tap it for mana to give it an oil counter if there's something in the graveyard. Anyhow, now that they did tap it, I believe I'm gonna attack here because I'm not gonna jump block the duelist here. So I'm just going to play now my kind of want to play the Siphoner. So if they attack with the Skrell, I think I'll block with the Siphoner. I don't think they're gonna attack with it, so it doesn't matter. But if I knew they're gonna attack with it, yeah, then I would play the Dune Mover and trade with that. Okay, but they are cracking that land. They do have still 2 mana thanks to the Scrap Gorger. So they are... Okay, that... I wasn't never gonna block the duelist there. That makes no sense. I was never gonna block the duelist there. I mean, I would just jump with the Siphoner. I think they would be happy if I did that. Well, sure. Oh, that's a good one. So, well, of course I'll deal the 1 poison here. And then I'm going to need to decide. Well, I'm not gonna return a land somehow, obvious it must be. But is the Blightbelly Rat something I could... Because I'm not sure if I care about the 1/1 too much here. It can, of course, matter. But I don't really want to recast any of these, and I don't wanna also take a land back to my hand. I hope that the Siphoner can deal the 3rd point now. I do have the Proliferate here, just in case. It has to be done like that. Okay, they have a Disruptor there, sure. And no, don't use the Might, there's no point. I'm not going to block with the Rat. I think the opponent is... I mean, how about if I draw removal? Now I don't have to target the Might, because usually you have to, of course, the only relevant target is gonna be the untapped Might, but now if I draw removal, I have at least the option to do something else, and of course I have a removal spell here. Now, do I want to remove the Disruption, because this is non-land permanent? No, it's not. I actually thought it was. Target creature or planeswalker. Well, that's easy then. Oh... I could actually get rid of the Scrap Gorger. Just to attack for 2 poison here. I will in the end lose to this might, making this thing unblockable, but I'm at 5 poison only. Oh, but I can't do this pre-combat. No, I'm not. They're not corrupted. Sorry, I was a fool. That's not even. That's not anything I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna just, of course, deal the 3rd poison, hoping they don't have the. They could have an infectious bite. Yeah, that's Now, if they do have an infectious bite, I don't like that. I wouldn't like that. Okay. They are corrupted now, so I don't have to care about the existence of that thing. And now I can choose to kill the Duelist or the Skrelv. Well, I think I'm gonna now deal with the Skrelv. Because this can make their guys unblockable, and I am at 5 poison, and I'm not necessarily winning that quickly here. This is gonna be a 3-3, but again, I'm not worried about actual damage. I'm more concerned about the poison. But let's see if they have an... because of course now they don't have attacks, and I have the Siphoner, that's gonna tick poison once per turn. Do they have an answer for that? An Attendant. Sure. That's not gonna answer the Siphoner yet. This thing has, by the way, Vigilance. Oh, Ruthless Predation. Well, it's also dead. So I'm gonna take more poison damage here because I'm not gonna jump here. Alright, so if I draw land, which I did, I am in trouble now. They had the interaction there. Not even that much of it. Actually, they did. Well, they had, yeah, the Planetary Disruption and that thing. Okay. Well, I mean, I have to take the 3 here. I guess I'm not gonna contribute. This thing isn't gonna block anything, so I can double block now the Duelist of Deep Faith with the, you know, with the 2-1 and the 2-2, because of course the first strike only can kill one of them, and well, if they have a pump spell, I will definitely be in a very bad shape, but so be it. Now this is gonna deal 3. That's gonna... Okay, I'm taking 6 damage here too. I'm happy they didn't attack with the 1-1 because I didn't have any intention to block with it. Hopefully they don't have any instant speed stuff for this thing. And I need to draw now some good stuff. Okay, they didn't. Okay, so all I need to do is now draw spells. Lands. Yeah, I need some spells. That's not going to work. I die to damage and I die to poison. Yeah, well, that's too many lands. So it goes to game 3. I don't think I have any reason to change anything here. If I had a pump spell, I think that would be in my main deck already, but if I had a pump spell in the sideboard, I would play that. That seems like a good card, good sort of an effect in this matchup, and they don't have that much instant speed interaction. Alright, 6 lands. Anyway, this is a good one. And I do like the glare a lot because of the chorus, but another thing the chorus does is enables the Necro Titan, so I'm gonna keep this and put the glare away. The opponent did actually mulligan 2, so let's see if they go to 5 or keep 6. They went to 5. Alright. So now I just need to draw a healthy balance of lands and spells, including the second black source for the Necro Titan, but I still have this Attendant for a 4-drop. They had so many 2-drops that it's possible the chorus can only attack like once, but I have a few corrupted payoffs in here, so even 1 poison out of the 3 can matter a lot. Well, that can't block. Hey. If I draw a 4th land, it's gonna have to be a swamp. I mean, I do have 9 swamps and 8 plains, so this is not exactly like unlikely. Alright, so they have no 2-drop. So now I need only one more poison to make these guys, you know, work in an optimal way. I will be at 2 poison too. Let's see if they have now a 2-drop or a 3-drop. That can block the chorus. Okay, they did not. Alright, that's a good one. Let's see if... I can't play the Necro Titan now, of course, but I will play the Attendant. Yep. And I'm going to take now the planes in my hand. That means that if I draw like planes, yet another planes, I can't play the Evangelist, but I can play the Hive. And if I draw a Swamp, I can still cast the Necro Titan even though I return the planes here. Okay, that's, you know, kind of fine. I'm winning this race, but another one of those. Well, I don't know. Let's start making more mites. Now, even if another planes would mean that I basically win the game. Okay, that's a blocker for my stuff. But I can, it's 0 power. Okay, charge of the mites. Well, I'm not gonna let them get any mana from this thing, so plus now I get to deal 2 poison, of course. Yeah, there's now 3 poisonous toxic attackers, and they were stuck at 2. I mean, they mulliganed to 5. They have drawn, you know, 6 cards, and they are still at 2 lands only. And that's the best thing they can do with the turn they have. Attack with the might is the only play. This might can't block. Alright. And there's Drowning Icro, which is gonna mean a victory because I will get the proliferating here. Okay, a little bit of a non-game there, but well, I guess that offsets my flood in the previous game. I go. Okay, the opponent actually got to decide. They let me go first. I'm gonna go first and keep this hand. That's really rare. That one they mulligan right away. I mean, in this format too, this is Phyrexia all will be 1, and the opponent gets to decide who goes first. It's not like this is game 2 or 3 of the match and they have, you know, somehow made a deck that prefers to be on the draw. They are playing against an unknown opponent and they choose to let them go first. And now I'm gonna have this Hive on turn 2, which is much better when I mean, wow. They have a deck with Chorus and they still let me go first. I don't understand. Maybe, I mean, let's say that has to be a misclick. They wanted to play first themselves, but they accidentally clicked you know, the wrong button. Yeah, you know, imagine if they were on the play with this draw. I would be crying. Well, I don't have any. I mean, I can kill the chorus, but let's see what they do. I might actually just get 2 creatures for this thing. Maybe they play a 3 mana 1 toughness creature I'm happy to kill, but it's more like they have an equipment for this thing. Yeah, that's not something I can kill. So... Well, I'm not killing the chorus, that's for sure. I don't like that this is able to block my things, but I think I still have to do this. Now, I do know that I can let this... Okay, well... I'm not winning this race, even with the lifelink, so because I don't have any play for the next turn, I'm actually gonna take it here now, because I can now kill, you know, the Jörkadin, and I still drew a land here. This can't even get anything from the... graveyard. It's still a 4/4 creature, which might, you know, be enough, but this is of course a catastrophe. Did I draw anything else than lands in here? So it didn't really matter that the opponent let me go first with these draws. So I can kill this now and attack for 1 poison. Or I can be afraid of this thing. I think the play here is still to do this, because I am so much behind that I need to kind of hope they don't have any, good stuff for the Jurkadin. And I will just do this to, to deal the first poison, just to get closer to... Oh. That's not great. So they had it for the Jurkadin. I guess I do now need to draw another removal spell for the Jurkadin. I'm not gonna beat this combination. They're gonna draw extra card each turn now. If I don't draw removal for this. That's not removal. But it's something I can use to block with. And then I can get it back with the Paladin. And my guys have now a lifelink, so, it's not the end of the world yet. That's only +2 +0. +1, so it will be it will be 5/3, but I can still block with the Hive Master if they do the equip. And if they use 3 mana for that, they might not have mana for interaction, but let's see. They get the free card anyway. Please don't have a Hex Gold Slash. I guess this does die into a token, which is not so bad. They can pump this guy, but it doesn't matter. Because I'm gonna get a bunch of life now. Okay, that's not a sorcery speed action. Yep, let's do this. I get 3 life and get the might here. They didn't have a pump spell, I'm very happy. There's the 1 red mana. +2/+2. So I think I'm in the clear now, because they are just losing the poison now. I might lose the damage, but I'm going to 10 here, so I'm not too concerned. And I'm gonna play this guy. If I draw a swamp, because it's quite funny that I am still at only 2 swamps on 5 planes, but if I do draw a swamp, I can play both of these spells. But they're dying to my poison stuff now. They have 2 blockers and they need to, this is 6 attackers. And if 3 of them get through, they are dead to poison. Oh, they are even just doing that, tapping out. Alright, so they kind of gave up. Whatever. That's a play they can make. Dead by poison. And my voice somehow starts disappearing, I don't know why. Alright, so they are red and white. So, vanish. Well, this time I saw only like the flesh cutter. Not sure if I want to play the vanish. Mandible Justiciar. That actually might be decent in these kind of matchups where I'm dying to... Yeah, I took some poison now, but that was just because they had the Chorus here mostly. I think I'm going to cut now the Skull Bomb here and play the Justiciar because of the lifelink. I don't have a lot of artifacts, only 3 total. This is one of them. And the Dune Movers. I guess I can make some, actually it's quite a funny little combination to have the Justiciar and the Skrill's Hive up, because then that's like always gonna get at least the +1/+1. But this is mostly just a 2/1 lifelinker, which I think might be good here, but I need to get something to drink here, so I'll pause the recording and we'll see in game 2. Okay, they still let me go first. And I have a pretty nice hand here. I don't know why they let me go first, but I like it. Now this hand can backfire a little bit if I don't draw lands or the Dune Movers, but of course having this 1-drop and a 2-drop with the Whisper of the Draws is pretty nice. Okay, 5-drop. Well, I have plenty of them in the deck, so it's not really that Surprising. But I do want to draw either a land or a dune mover. I have 17 outs for that. 15 lands and 2 dune movers out of 32 here. So the likelihood is more than 50%. I mean, I wouldn't mind if I draw just 3 lands back to back. Would be really nice to curve out that way. Okay, Flesh Cutter doesn't do anything. That's not a land. But it's a 3-drop, so I have now 2-3 mana options if I do draw the land at some point. And I still have the Whisper here, which, you know, I don't expect it to do much, but... Oh, so I have now 2 options. I can either attack into that... and use the Whisper. If they block the Chorus, I of course wouldn't mind the trade here at all. I'm actually doing that. I'd rather use the Whisper here. And now because this will proliferate them to into corrupted status. That means the Anoint will kill also stuff that they might, cost more than 3. Spiral, which they can... Well, there is the Dune Mover, but they can actually equip these for 1 cheaper. It would be only 2 mana to equip. So... I mean, I don't necessarily care about them having the mites. Okay, I can even do this. Because this will actually pump the Justiciar, so I'm gonna do this. Get the swamp, I don't need double white here. I can attack with this guy. Because I can still win with damage. And if they really wanna equip, that is gonna still take 2 of their mana, which they might have. Okay, 2 of their 5 mana will be used if they want to equip. And I can then still use the Anoint on whichever card I want. And if they get one that cannot block, I don't worry about that. I don't care about poison damage. I don't care about it dealing 1 damage if I don't have a block for it. Well of Assimilation. Okay, that's the opponent needs creatures and ways to deal with my creatures. Things that enhance their guys. That's not good. I mean, they do have vigilance on this thing now, but it's gonna be... Well, I'm gonna just use a charge of might for it. Because I do have the 3 creatures on there. If they have the +2/+2, well, I mean, then I'm gonna trade this on it. I could be tricky and attack with Justiciar alone. And then, if they block with the Aspirant, I can make 2 guys here. And this Justiciar will be a 4/3 and trade there. Okay, I'm actually liking that idea. If they just take 2 here, I don't mind. But I do understand that if I use the Anoint with Affliction, they would actually go to 6 now. But I have a different plan anyway. I'm gonna actually have a plan that involves me playing the Hive Master here. And now I can leave my interaction on later, because again, I don't care about them dealing 4. I don't care about them having more of these mites. This way I can save my interaction later, because now I can, with the Hive Master, I can just attack into the Aspirant anyway. Okay, that's a good one. I have the option to double block the Aspirant here if I really want to. Do I? They can actually move the Hover Wings too, because it only costs 2 mana to equip. the aspirant here. Okay, so they actually... No, they will get the, the assimilation will give this aspirant another pump. But I'm a little bit concerned that they didn't move this. That might mean that they have a 2-mana spell there. Yeah, they have something, because they still have priority in there. Yeah, I'm gonna actually take the 7 here. I'm gonna take the 7 and block this guy. They're gonna use the pump spell on that. Okay, they get to draw a card there, but I still get my own 1/1, and they still lost this thing. So now I can actually... Finally I will in fact kill... Oh, look at all this removal. So, I have a couple of mites in here. I could still just attack with the Justice here, but I also want to attack with the Dune Mover. I also want to get rid of the Aspirant here. Well, I mean, this gets rid of anything. This is only -4/-4 at with, sorcery speed, so... I mean, the reason I'm not using the mites is that there's still a chance I'm actually gonna use it for the creatures. I have 2 removal spells, so let's just use the removal spell now. And that enables me to... I mean, I can also sacrifice one of the mites here to deal more damage. I think that's actually worth it. Yeah, it is worth it, because if I just attack with the Justiciar and the Mover, they can just trade with them. Now they are incentivized to, actually eat one of the 1/1s, but they are going to 4 life in that case. They actually block with nothing. I don't know why that would happen. I mean, they are scared about the -1/-1 trick, but that was an extra poison and an extra damage they took, basically for no reason. Okay. So now I'm threatening both a poison and a life damage-based victory here. Now they have a life linker, but I can get rid of it. I guess with this hand I never needed more than 3 lands. Oh, maybe I do. This is now of course different. I mean, I can still deal with a 3/4, but now they can use the 2/1 to trade. Can't block there. Take some damage there. Okay, well the hive is nice, but... So let's see, let's first... if I get rid of the lifelinker, they can block 2 of my guys, and sadly that's just not enough. They're gonna go to 1 in that case. If I get rid of this thing, at least they will have to... this will block the Dune Mover or the Justiciar, and this can maybe even eat one of the 1/1s, because again they are gonna go to 5 with the Justiciar. Unless I again want to just attack with the Justiciar here and use the charge of the mites as some kind of a trick or whatever. It's not the easiest. I kind of like the idea though, so that next turn I could play 2 things. If I draw a land, I could use the might here, but I can use it also pre-combat just to deal with the attendant. I kind of forgot I have 4 creatures, so whichever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the mites this turn. But on which target, and or do I want to get the creatures here? This is annoying. I really want to just get rid of the lifelinker actually, but I have 1 timeout left. I need to make my decision now. So am I gonna win with poison? I have this, but I don't know, man. This is somehow very difficult now. Now they would have to block this thing anyway. Okay, I'm actually gonna do it like this, because I like the idea of having an extra 1/1 poison creatures when they are at 7 poison. Now whichever they're gonna block with, I don't mind. That's exactly good also. So now I'm gonna gain 4 life. And I can block the well, I guess they can deal some, they can gain life back, but I have 5 poisonous creatures here. They are at 7 poison here. Well, not poisonous, toxic. Poisonous is a pretty old mechanic. Alright, they can gain, you know, life there. It actually doesn't matter. The reason I wanted to go with this plan is that I don't have to care about the Justiciar now gaining them life. I have now enough poisonous creatures to deal with all this. And I can even trade with it. No, actually I can't. It's gonna become 9-3. 9-3 when they attack, because the flesh cutter is gonna give them an artifact which will trigger actually 2 things. It's gonna be a 10-4 because both the assimilation will trigger and but of course the opponent already knows they're dead because they have no cards in hand. They exile the seed core. I can just take that, and I have a lethal attack here. I even got the glare, but I mean, whatever. I'm gonna exile this. Why not? It's unnecessary, but because I had 5 attackers and they can only block 2 of them, and they go exactly to 10 poison. And actually, now that I exiled the lifelinker, they also lose based on damage. But yeah, I did, win mostly with poison. I think there was like a damage win somewhere, but this was a really effective deck dealing poison damage. I think it's quite late in the format, so I'm not gonna do any huge analysis about the deck, but and I didn't get to really use this Evangelist that many times. I think I cast like twice, but yeah, Skrell's Hive was I drew that many times anyway, and pretty normal black-white deck. Black-white deck has these corrupted payoffs and means to win with both damage and poison. I had no combat tricks basically, but I had enough removal to maybe make it so that it doesn't matter. Yeah, that was a nice deck, and 3-0. I guess the best thing about the draft is that I picked a very late Pestilent Siphoner. I think, yeah, this thing in pack 1, and maybe I got something else to like Hive Master or something like that. And they were the first black cards that actually made me think that maybe I should consider that black is still an option in this draft, and it definitely was. And picking those things really, allowed me to draft this deck, move to this archetype, and that was correct to do in this draft. So let's claim the prize here, and next video will be Shadows over Innistrad Remastered. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.